Morning. Just in your thinking about your capacity as mayor and also as chair of TfL, you spoke to media in November 2022 and you said, what we want, this is during the discussions about ULEZ, you said, what we want is a scheme that can treat each driver differently in relation to time you're driving and distance that you're driving. So that's obviously you describing what you want as a pay per mile road user charging scheme. But then by September here, you told my colleague, Assemblymember Best, quote, as long as I am mayor, meaning you, we are not going to have pay per mile. So that's obviously a change of mind between those two dates, November 2022 and September 2023. When did you change your mind on that, and what led you to change your mind?
I think the realistic answer is there isn't the technology for it to happen in a global city like London. If another smaller city was doing this, you could try and emulate that, scale up. No one's doing it across the globe. I think realistically, very difficult to do in the short to medium term, particularly without resources that a government would require. So if H&T was to suddenly start spending even more on this, and DfT, that may accelerate the progress. I can't see it happening in the next term.
So that's a very different answer, isn't it, from what you told Assemblymember Best? You told her, as long as I am mayor, we are not going to have pay per mile. But now you're not saying you're against it, you're just saying it's not possible yet. So if it were possible, then you might not be against it.
I think simplifying payments is laudable.
Not simplifying, pay per mile, that's not simplifying, that's fundamentally changing, isn't it? That's what the topic is.
Simplifying, so rather than paying a separate fee for congestion charge, a separate fee for ULEZ, a separate fee if you go through the Silvertown
tunnel. You're changing the subject. So I don't pay any of those things. None of those things apply to me driving around in my car, but if you brought in pay per mile, presumably it would, and it would apply to all the people in my constituency. Well, so that's what we're talking about. Bringing in a pay per mile, I'm trying to understand whether you quite like the idea, but you think the technology is not there, which is sort of what you've just said and what you said in November 2022, or whether you're ruling it out, which is what you told Assemblymember Best last September. So are you ruling it out because you think it's a bad idea, or are you saying not yet because it's not possible yet?